Hello, welcome. Today I have with me Neal. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great to see you, great to hop on a call with you and interview you. And if I did my research right, so to start off, you started competing in Trackmania 2020 just last year. You immediately started to dominate regional championships and tournaments. How would you describe your year 2022?
Um, I would describe it pretty well in the Trackmania scene. My first solo competition was in January of 2022. So it's been a year now since I've been competing. So I'd say from when I started to where I am now, it's been really good.
You kind of like became the new star of NACS, if I would say so. Can you
Yeah.
tell me some more about the NACS scene? Because people might not really know which players are real threats, and how would you place yourself in your region's strength rankings?
Okay. Yeah. So the NA scene is just starting to grow, I feel.
Yeah.
Of course, we have big names like Carl Jr., Wally, but Wally is inactive, and we also have Nixotica, Fegley. So there are names, Tank Rum, like there's big names out there, but the NA scene is finally growing. Um, so it's really nice to see a lot of people come out and play competitions more often now. I would personally just rank myself like equal to these players, like Nixotica, Fegley. Like these are my competitors. I rank myself with them, so I feel like we're all pretty equal around there.
Yeah. Do you think that NACS deserves more attention than it has at the moment, especially with US having the biggest player pool as of recently?
Yeah, I think we do need more. A lot of these new players are not accustomed to competitions, so it'd be very nice to have Nadeo try to create tournaments or lands in the US maybe, or in the North America region, so to see maybe if we can get more US players involved.
But also, do you think, like from the public, NACS is good enough to that it deserves more viewership and more attention put on the players that are competing there?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we can get a lot of support going, and it's very important. Yeah.
And yes, and I'm not gonna lie, as I said, most of the public are not really following the region tournaments outside of Europe and players that compete in them. I myself am not the most informed person on that topic either. So maybe you could tell us more about yourself, like the new star of NACS. Like, when did you start playing? What are your ambitions in the game? Who are you looking up to in the scene? Like your general deal in Trackmania.
Yeah. So I started TMNF when I was a really young kid. I was like maybe
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7 years old. So I only have like 70, 80 hours on the game. But I started Trackmania 2020, in 2021, actually. April of 2021 is when I started. And I started off with just, learning the game and stuff. Um, but I was always watching Spam. Spam is someone that I've looked up to since I was a young kid. Um, he caught me off guard with all the YouTube videos and everything, so I've been watching him ever since I grew up, and he's been pretty much the motivation for me to try to become a top tier player.
And what are your ambitions in this game? Like, what do you think you can accomplish and strive for?
I really think we can get into TMCL, me and my duo. So I really want to become the top NA player. Of course, after Carl Jr. And just try to get into TMCL and show that there's more than Europe outside of Trackmania.
hmm Were you surprised when the spam demoted and retired at the moment? Like, did that have an impact on you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a really sad moment when you see like someone you've looked up to in the professional scene of a game and you see them retire. It's always like, oh, like damn, like this I looked up to him and I wanted to be a professional because of him, but it's still a good motivation because you can see how much love he has for the sport still and how many people love him even after he retired and support him. So it's really nice.
Were you hoping to maybe someday compete against him in that TMGL, TMCL stuff?
It would be nice. It would be
Yeah,
nice.
he
But
still competes in some fun events, so maybe you will have that chance someday. But
yeah.
when I was looking you up during the year, you were jumping a lot between teams. First team 300, later team Wombo, and now you are in four wheels. You told me behind the scenes that this is the team that you will be representing during big team competitions and not Trackmania World Tour. How important for you are those team competitions, and how are you feeling with the move to four wheels?
Okay, so the team competition is very important to me because um, this game is usually known as a solo game. You get recognition being a solo player. So these team competitions that really bring out all the players as a team together, it's really important. Even if there's no prize pool, it's just a really nice, friendly competition to have. So it's important as long as also it's really, really fun to play. Just have a month-long competition with friends playing together, enjoying. And Four Wheels has been that for me. Ever since I started this game, um, I was a tech player, so looking up to Karian as well. Um, and some of the players on the team have been really good friends for a while now, so joining them has been like pretty much joining friends again, and it's really nice to compete with them, hopefully in the future.
If you had maybe to, well, dig a little deeper into the skill sets that are needed for solo competitions and big team competitions like those, how much are they different?
Um, The difference is very small, I feel, but there is the idea of more pressure in a team competition because you are forced to compete better. And if you compete not so well, it also goes on to your teammates. If you compete
Hmm.
bad, then that's bad results for the whole team. So there's the idea of pressure involved, and I think consistency is much more important in the team-based competition, where you and someone else or you and a group of people are together. It's important that all of you are consistent in your matches.
Yeah, now we are moving to duo system to be the norm, so it kind of transitions towards that more team-based skill set. And to
Yeah.
be honest, jumping a little bit back to the four wheels, I have been a little bit confused about that situation, thinking that you will be representing them during Trackmania World Tour, but that isn't the case, as you said. Is there any organization that is on the horizon for you and Nixotica to join together and represent during Trackmania World Tour?
Yes. So me and Nix are going to be assigned to an organization. We're going to be representing an organization called Damascus Gaming. It's a American-based
Hmm.
organization that's going to help us support all of our um, anything we need in Trackmania is going to be supported with them, and we're happy to be with them. And we should, yeah, that's going to be our duo for Trackmania World Tour. That's our esports org.
That's great to hear. Uh, yeah, as I said, I was just not really sure how would that work with four wheels, but as you say, Damascus Gaming are bringing you under their wings, so that's great that you will have support also in Trackmania World Tour. As we are here in Trackmania World Tour, we should probably move on to that a little bit more. Your duo has been announced, and it is Nixotica. How strong is this duo, do you think, in comparison to the rest of NACS and also the rest of the world?
I think we're extremely strong. As people might know, Nixotica was in TMGLC before,
Yeah.
and he did pretty well. It was the first time for him as well, and he's been in the top scene for a while now. Many players outside of NCSA know him, so and we're pretty much at a same skill level set right now. So I believe we'll be a real threat to not just NCSA but outside of NCSA. We currently do believe we are the top duo in America in the NCSA region. So we're hoping to keep that strength with us and take it to maybe TMCL.
Mm-hmm. Now you caught me now here off guard because I've heard you say NCSA for a for another time, and I'm calling it NACS for the whole time. So yeah, that's my mistake, I guess. You caught me here. But how did that duo come to be? Who was the guy that went ahead with the idea first, and how did that relationship look like before this duo come to be?
Actually, it was a really funny story. Before this announcement of World Tour, we didn't talk to each other at all. The first time we actually met was the Trackmania American Open competition, which is the first time we met, and we played against each other in the finals there. And then the World Tour announcement came, and we weren't really sure how it worked because the rules weren't really in place. We didn't know who played with who, and Nix just assumed that Carl Jr. was going to play with me because Carl Jr. had to play regionals for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, is Carl Jr. going to play with Neal?" And I misread it, and I thought he was asking me to play with him. So I said, "Yeah, we can play together." And he's like, "Oh, we want to play together?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, we can play." And then we ended up being a duo. So it was
Dude, Nixotica had to be over the moon. He thought he stole you from Carl Jr. at that moment for sure.
So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, but you've said already the TMGLC is your goal. Do you think you can accomplish that in your first stage, after the first stage, or do you need a little bit more time to grow in that scene, in that whole circuit? And is that the only goal for this year? Is World Cup in your reach, and also like how far do you think in World Cup you can go?
Preferably, we would love to be in TMCL as soon as possible. Um, I would say it would take us a couple stages. Hopefully, we get into the TMCL relegation match. That's the goal, right? From there, we can try to fight the other duos. There's a lot of EU strong duos that, you know, right now they are better than us. Everyone can agree that a lot of EU duos are there that are not in TMCL. So it'll be tough, but we expect to get there sooner or later. We'll keep trying. As for World Cup, it'll be the same issue. I think there's a lot of EU duos, around 12, 15 EU duos outside of TMCL that will be fighting for the spot. So if we can somehow get into the World Cup, even with the wild card, it would be nice, and hopefully not finish last, I guess, is the goal.
Hmm.
Because if we get to that stage, it's already an achievement, and I'm just happy to be there. So
I mean, if all goes well and the rules for TMGL promotion are in set, maybe after this year, you may be in TMGL in the next season. Who knows?
yes.
But yeah, thank you very much for your answers. Thank you for the interview. Do you have any short message for the fans and the viewers?
Uh, I just I just hope that I can represent the North America scene to my best of my ability. That's all.
And to all the viewers, you can find all the links to Neal's socials in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.